NetScout's Aircheck G2 wireless tester continues to be an incredibly popular tool for technicians to validate and troubleshoot modern high-speed wireless networks. NetScout is excited to announce our latest software update for the Aircheck G2, version 2.0, which includes several highly requested features. Let's take a quick look at the main additions found in Aircheck G2 software version 2.0. First is performance testing using iPerf. To run an iPerf test, I must be first connected to either an access point or a network. Once connected, down at the bottom of the screen, you can see I have an option for iPerf test. Once I select that, I'll be brought to an iPerf server selection screen. Users can use any iPerf 3 server that may already be set up in their environment. However, NetScout knows that not everybody has immediate access to an iPerf 3 server, nor necessarily the time to spin one up. So we are announcing our new Test Accessory product. The Test Accessory is essentially an iPerf server in your pocket. It allows for quick and easy performance testing with an Aircheck G2. The Test Accessory runs a standard iPerf server and can be used for any performance testing needed. Test Accessories run off batteries or PoE and can be left installed in your network at strategic locations or carried with you to be installed and used as needed. On this server selection screen, if I had my own iPerf server, I could enter that IP address by tapping on the entry and then manually entering an IP address. However, if I'm using a test accessory, there's an even easier way. All test accessories that the Aircheck G2 has discovered will be listed in the bottom portion of the screen. The Aircheck G2 can discover these test accessories automatically in several ways. If they're on the same subnet as the wireless network I'm already connected to, they will automatically be listed. If they're on the same subnet as the Aircheck G2's last Ethernet test, they will also be listed. If I have a specific subnet that I would like the Aircheck G2 to scan for test accessories, I can enter that by tapping on the Additional Subnet button and then putting in the subnet. Ideally, all of your test accessories have been adopted to Link Live, and your Aircheck G2 can query Link Live and present you with a list of all known test accessories in your organization. Test accessories known to Link Live will be presented with a small cloud icon. To select a test accessory to use, I can simply tap on that entry in the list, and it will automatically populate the correct iPerf server IP address. Now I can go ahead and start my test, and I can see the applicable results on the screen. Also new to the V2.0 software is captive portal support. If I go to Settings, Networks, and pick a particular network, I now have the option to select whether or not this particular network supports a captive portal. If captive portal is turned on, the Aircheck G2 will automatically launch a web browser when attempting to connect to this network. This will allow the user to interact with the captive portal in whatever means is necessary. Another feature in Aircheck G2 V2.0 is the addition of Acls and Authorization classes. If I go to my AP list, I can select an AP, and I now have the ability to set an authorization for that AP. I can mark it authorized, flagged, neighbor, unauthorized, or unknown. The icon you see next to each of these names will also populate in the AP list next to that AP. Authorization classes have also been added to the auto test. If I go to Settings, Auto Test Settings, I can now select to have Rogue AP tests on or off for my auto test. When on, the auto test will automatically scan for any access points that have been marked unauthorized or flagged and will report those as part of my auto test. Interferer identification. It's a sad fact of Wi-Fi that our shared bands have a lot more technology than just 802.11. Aircheck G2 v2.0 software now has the ability to use its internal Wi-Fi radio to attempt to classify these devices. The Aircheck G2 scans and continuously attempts to identify any non-802.11 devices in the environment that are interfering with your Wi-Fi. Off the main screen, I simply need to tap Interferers. This will bring me to a list of all interferer events that the Aircheck G2 has heard. If I select a given event, I can see additional information about the type of device, the average and peak power, as well as the duty cycle. Saving a packet capture. The Aircheck G2 always had a means to save what was called a session file. In Aircheck G2 v2.0, while saving a session file, I also have an option to save this same information as a PCAP file. If I click the Save button, I can now select Save Packet Capture. I can select my packet capture name as well as how large of a file to capture. Packet captures on the Aircheck G2 are automatically packet sliced to 512 bytes. There are several other small enhancements included in the 2.0 software. We'll look at a couple of those. First, the supported channels on an access point have now been split into two categories. If I go to access points and select an AP, I can now see the rates split apart as supported rates, as well as the basic rates configured on that AP. On the channel screen, in addition to the classic Aircheck view of the channels, I can now tap the Overlap button. Overlap mode gives me a visual indication of the various networks in my band and how they may overlap with each other. I can select various segments of the bands along the top to view those individually. To return to the original view, I simply tap Utilization again. These updates to the Aircheck G2 will help users to troubleshoot a wide array of issues and get necessary information quickly and effectively. Thank you for taking the time to review these features with us.